Here at SkyCNG, we want to make it easy as possible for you to find out information about conversions. We want to be your supplier. We want you to have the best CNG conversion kit available on the market today. We want you to have one that is made, for the United States, for these big engines. 90% of our conversions are on, 5-liter V8s and larger. And if you get the wrong kit, you could regret it. So we have a lot of articles on our website. You can scroll down and you can see here on the home page lots of information, smog and emissions, EPA standards, things like that. We're going to go through some of these in the video and try to consolidate into a video FAQ, so to speak. First of all, beware of cheap conversions, guys. There are a lot of bad kits out there. We get phone calls every single day from people that want us to repair their system or the conversion, or they want us to sell them parts. They're like, well, everything ran great for a month or 2 or 6 months, and now things are just falling apart. The injectors are starting to stick. I'm getting a check engine light. My fuel economy, my power loss, all of these things happen. And it's simply because the person went with the cheapest conversion shop that they could find. Things may run fine even when you leave the shop, but over time things break down. You got to go with good quality parts, and sometimes it's hard to find. This CNG is new. It's new in the U.S. It's not super popular. You can't just call any mechanic or a dealer for their advice because they don't even know, especially dealers, I guess you could say. But anyway, here, like in the state of Utah, for example, we have seen almost every conversion shop go out of business or change ownership since the year 2010. And the reason why, based on the phone calls that we get, is because the people they converted, they converted people, and then a year or 2 down the road, they weren't happy. They found out that they had to alter their driving style. They weren't getting power. They couldn't accelerate on the freeway. They weren't getting the same miles per gallon as they were on gasoline. All of these things add up, and so the driver was not recommending it to others. So we've had an uphill battle here in the state of Utah. 99% of our distribution business here at SkyCNG is outside of the state of Utah. I don't know why Utah only wants to go with the cheapest kits they can find on eBay or whatever, but so be it. We want to work with people that appreciate quality, and hopefully you'll come to us for all of your supplies. Second, SkyCNG, we are the fastest growing supplier in the U.S. In 2014, we actually improved the quality of our kits. We added on some high performance injectors and made some other modifications to the software, things like that. But we were able to do this and reduce our costs. We were able to reduce our pricing to you, the consumer. And we were able to do that because of our volume of sales. It's just simply picking up and increasing. Our free technical support and our same-day shipping, our response time to any questions, it's unparalleled. And we invite you to check that out and see for yourself. Typical cost for a conversion, you're looking at about $5,000 for a car, $6,000 for a truck. That includes the tank, that includes the kit, that includes the labor. Labor is a big line item. You're talking about 15 hours of labor for an experienced shop. The SkyCNG kits, they actually install faster than most kits. We have some of our shops that install in as less as 11 or 12 hours, and it's simply because we have plug-and-play wires and plug-and-play injection adapters, so you don't have to drill the manifold and you don't have to cut and solder a bunch of wires. If you're familiar with CNG conversion kits, you'll see that you've seen that is pretty common, and we are eliminating that. We make it simple and easy and cut down on the margin of error, so that you can get the customer in and out of your shop as fast as possible. You can see that we have reduced the prices on our kits, and we invite you to check them out and compare it with your last install. And anybody that has given us a head-to-head honest shot, they've never gone back to their previous supplier. It's a pretty simple sales pitch. Home refueling stations. We get phone calls on this every day. We do not sell home refueling stations. We do not suggest that you even look for one. As of right now, they just don't exist. The only one that is of any reputation on the market is the Fill. We have the picture on our website, but as you can read here, these are very expensive. They're not really practical. For the people that are really trying to convert to CNG to save money, it just doesn't. The dollars and cents don't make sense. Pardon the pun there. So you can read about it. There's always lots of articles, and there's lots of people that say that they want to make a compressor for $500 or $2,000, but at the end of the day, they can't show you 2 years of beta testing. They can't build you a compressor without asking for significant or 100% prepayment. And the third thing they can't do is they can't promise you any lack of maintenance and service. Maintenance and service is just a big deal with these things. These compressors, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of valves and gaskets that can go bad. And if you buy somebody's compressor and they're in Minnesota or Texas or somewhere like that, are they going to fly out to your home in California or Arizona and service it for you? Odds are that they're probably not. So be careful. Diesel kits. This is kind of tricky. Lots of people see the YouTube videos of diesel conversions that look great, but SkyCNG does not offer a diesel solution simply because we don't want to offer a kit unless we know what it will work on and we know what it won't work on. And too many of these diesel solutions can be very tricky. And from my experience, the people that I have talked to that love their diesel kit are the people that don't mind tinkering with it every month or every week. They're constantly having to mess around with it. Word to the wise, if it's an aspirated or a mixer kit, stay away from it. And if it says it's a sequential injection kit, that's not entirely accurate, but what they're trying to tell you is that it uses the same type of reducer as you'll find on sequential gasoline conversion kits, meaning that it keeps a steady output of CNG pressure, and it'll inject the CNG into the manifold pre-turbo usually. So anyway, just be careful. If a good kit comes out, we'll offer it. We'll put it out there. We'll make an announcement. Follow us on Twitter, on Facebook. We've been doing some R&D, but the bottom line is most of the vehicles that get converted nowadays are built after 2010. And on diesel trucks, it's such a pain in the butt with the diesel particulate filters and all of these emissions control things that the EPA requires, that you have to heavily modify or tamper with your vehicle's computer. That immediately will void the warranty. So we stay away from that. Speaking of warranty, a typical biofuel conversion from SkyCNG will not void the warranty. If your installer knows what he's doing, you're going to be good to go. If anything else goes bad with your vehicle, if your transmission goes out, if you start having problems with the radiator or whatever, take it in. They're not going to be able to blame anything on your CNG kit. What does the CNG kit have to do with your transmission warranty? What does it have to do with a brake system going bad? What does it have to do with a faulty radiator? Whatever the case is, it's up to the dealer to prove that, hey, the biofuel kit that you installed is the reason why this happened. So if your mechanic knows what he's doing, you're not going to have any problems. If you blow up your engine, for lack of a more technical term, if you blow something up, sling a rod, whatever, you get a bad tapping, and you take it to the dealer and they find out you've got a natural gas conversion kit, Well, they're going to have to prove that whatever your mechanic did with the natural gas conversion kit is what caused that engine malfunction. If they can't prove that, then hey, they've got to warranty it just like it's a gasoline, engine to begin with. It's up to them. We have more information about this on this webpage. So, last thing we're going to talk about is the price of tanks. A lot of people don't understand tanks, or they'll want a quote from us, but we really can't provide any quotes unless we know what kind of tank you want. So we can learn more about the CNG cylinders here. Find out what kind of tank do you want. There are 4 different types, and here are the prices on those types. We have type 2, which is heavy. We don't even carry type 1 because the type 2s we get such good pricing on. It's about a 5%, maybe a 10% premium compared to the type 1, but it's just a better quality. They're made in the USA, whereas most of the type 1s are made in China or South America. And we have seen testing results where even after 5 or 6 years, the interior of the type 1 steel tank will break down, and you'll get rust or particles coming out into your natural gas, which clogs up your system and can damage your conversion kit. So type 2, type 3, and type 4. Here are the brackets that you'll need. These are heavy duty brackets that hold it down. And then we have manual and solenoid valves available as well. We can provide you a quote on all of these. We have the dimensions and the capacities and the prices. If you have any further questions, you can let us know. Margins on these are pretty thin. One thing to consider with your capacity is that even though it says 8-gallon equivalent right here, you're probably going to get about 10% less. That's just the physics of natural gas. These are textbook capacities when you do the math, 13 by 56 inches, and you do all the conversions. It's an 8.3 gasoline gallon equivalent at 3,600 psi. Again, all of our tanks are 3,600 psi as well. There's still people out there that sell 3,000 psi tanks, and those aren't even legal. You don't want them, and not to mention they're cheap. But if it says 8 gallons or 22 GGE, you can go ahead and estimate that you're going to get about 19 or 20 gallons on this particular fill. So if you run it into the ground and you run it empty of CNG at your next fill up, you'll probably get around 20 gallons and not 22 gallons. And that's simply because when you're filling it up, that tank gets hot, the hot gas expands, and then it tells you it thinks it's full, but it's really not. And you can let it cool down and come back an hour later, and maybe you can squeeze another half gallon or gallon into it. But that's just kind of the general dynamics of natural gas. Lastly, just the kits. You read up on them. Compare apples to apples. You look at watch our videos on our SkyPro kit and then the SkyPro HD kit, which is exclusive to SkyCNG. This HD kit was built for your truck. If you have a 5.0 Ford or the 5.7 Hemi, 5.3 Chevy Silverados, any of these big engines, the kits that are out there on the market, they were not made for your vehicle. You're going to see worse performance. You're not going to get the same miles per gallon as you're expecting. And if you ever pull a boat or even a small trailer, you're going to see a lot of issues. You're not going to get the power and performance, and that's the bottom line. This will give you the best possible performance on CNG, this HD kit. You can see how we can make things simpler by giving you better the custom harnesses, no drilling of the manifold, all of these things. So just make sure you're comparing apples to apples when you put us up against the competition. Give us a call if you have any questions, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.